couple of quarters. And tell you what, he was smart with his shot making too. Really took good ones.
You know, points per shot attempted is really one of the undervalued stats in the game, and it's a real measurement of efficient scoring.
And it's Žalgiris with the ball. Number 15, defended by Durant. And it's blocked by Urebko.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle. And that's held true in this one so far, Steve.
And even if it's only a modest advantage that they have in that category, it's still a significant factor.
And the Warriors with possession here. Good. 14 points for Kevin Durant.
They're playing with a purpose, guys. The big lead becoming bigger. I like the look in their eyes.
And it's on both ends that they've been controlling the action.
Not his forte. I don't really like that shot, and you can tell the defense is just asking him to take it.
And that one's good.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
On offense, here's Žalgiris. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And the dunk by Jackson.
And they get one to go now after missing their first 3 shots. Maybe this will kick them into gear.
Number 15, guarded by Kerr. Here's Phelps. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Now here's Green. 6 points for him. They swipe it. And here's the break. Number 15, guarded by Green. Shot clock at 6. From deep. And it's Durant with the rebound. Smooth sailing for Golden State. The drive by Cousins. Curry can't get it to go. Number 44 can't get it to go. And Golden State will come the other way. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul. A big group substitution here for Žalgiris.
Number 5, Adelman. Number 12.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Number 12. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Here's Golden State now. Green kicks to Cousins. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Cousins has got 14 points for the game.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, their energy is lacking, and they've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. And Žalgiris making a change here.
White. And Mendy.
Three minutes gone now in the third quarter. Curry kicks to Urebko. Here's Cousins. Out of bounds, Žalgiris takes possession.
Remains Žalgiris ball. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 15.
On offense, here's Žalgiris. Van Gundy, guarded by Kerr. Ball's knocked loose. Durant with the steal. Outside Curry. Here's Cousins. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got his third rebound on the night. Van Gundy, guarded by Green. Kicks it to White. He feeds it to Smith. 6 to shoot. And good on the basket. Book it. Smith's got 6. Smith's gone a perfect 3 for 3 so far. Green dishes to Curry. And that's out of bounds. Golden State will retain possession. And Žalgiris making a change here.
Number 5, Rambis. Number 1,
Žalgiris on D. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
Boy, I tell you what, the D was way too soft right there, like Jell-O. You got to do better than that.
Clark, he's not the kind of guy you want to get in the way of.
No, exactly. I mean, he's a hard man to stop coming down the lane, but you've got to have good position before the play starts.
Curry with the steal. Green. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. He's got 8, and we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Warriors.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And another thing they're doing is really taking advantage of fast break opportunities, scoring some easy baskets.
Jackson, he's checked in for Rambis. That's tipped. It's stolen by Curry. Durant.
Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rack.
You know, the guys on the bench are going crazy right now at the sight of that jam.
And it's Žalgiris with the ball. Jackson, guarded by Green. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Boy, I'd like to know how many of their attempts have come from inside 5 feet. It seems like everything is right at the rim.
Take a look at the game for Green. He has 9 rebounds, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And that may not be the first thing people notice about his performance, but those are important points nonetheless.
Free throw good, Green. And Žalgiris making a change here. And both free throws good for Green. On offense, here's Žalgiris. Number 12, defended by Durant. Stolen by Durant. And now Durant running the floor, galloping all by himself.
Excellent vision by Durant out there. What a nice pass.
Green's gone 3 of 7, shooting from the floor. Number 12, defended by Durant. Knocked loose. Dives for it. Out of bounds, Žalgiris takes possession. And Žalgiris making a change here.
Smith. Number 15.
1:57 left here in the third quarter. There's the pass to Jackson. The jump hook. That's good. Jackson's got 6 points. Stolen by Jackson. They get a hand on it. Cousins with it. He's got 14. Working on Smith. He kicks to Jerebko. Cousins. Shot clock at 6. Out of bounds, Žalgiris takes possession. And this is checked in for Žalgiris.
First Rambis.
Number 15, defended by Durant, got a piece of it. The feed to Smith. Their turnaround jumper. Here's Phelps. Cousins with the block. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Jerebko kicks to Curry. Golden State moving the ball around. The drive by Green gets the bucket. Green's got 8 points here in this quarter.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
And it's Žalgiris with the ball. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Curry kicks to Jerebko. Backing down is Green. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. He's been getting to the line, made 6 of his 8 tries.
Well, he was an excellent foul shooter a season ago at about 82%.
And guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there.
And Žalgiris making a change here. That one is no good. Durant against Rambis. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Well, I think that pass caught him off guard, but he showed us forward hands, too.
Number 5.
The drive by Green. 2 on the clock. Shot, no good. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The Warriors on top, delivering the blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's Zalgiris with the ball. Back to White.
I see him.
Number 15, defended by Durant. 5 to shoot. Number 15, from 13 feet, it goes down. Gone 50% from the field, 3 of 6. Green passes to Durant. Here's your Repco, stolen by Jackson. Stripped away. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And it's Zalgiris with the ball. Following the score by Golden State.
Yo, set it up.
Number 15. The three-pointer, no good. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
Yeah, Steve and Kevin, you guys got to love this teamwork. I mean, everybody's involved and engaged. It's just a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah, sure is. And when all 5 guys, Clark, are threats to score, that makes it so tough on the defense because now you can't account for everybody when the ball's moving so quickly.
Jackson. Clock at 6. The dish now to White. Hits the front of the rim and out. Here comes Durant. The drive by Green. Out of bounds. Zalgiris takes possession. A big group substitution here for Zalgiris.
Number 5. Phelps. Number 4.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now.
Number 12.
And there's the call on Durant. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Number 12. A reverse. Rejected by Uretko. They retain possession. That is good.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
The drive by Green. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Draymond Green. Taking 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Green. Both good from the line that time. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. And it's out of bounds. Zalgiris able to retain possession here.
Remains Zalgiris ball. 17 seconds on the shot clock. 17.
Number 12. Guarded by Curry. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Durant dishes to Cousins. And that is good.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
On offense, here's Zalgiris. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Out of bounds, Žalgiris takes possession.
Get open, get open!
Here's Phelps. Good on the baseline J. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Durant attacking. Jerebko kicks to Durant. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Number one. They get it back.
Boy, look at the rebound totals. He is absolutely dominating out there.
Boy, that's been something to watch. My goodness.
And the basket by Curry.
He is feeling it. A terrific percentage from the field.
Number 12, guarded by Curry. Here's Phelps. Got it. Good job in the low post.
His shooting has been so good today. He may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
And that'll be Golden State as it goes out of bounds. Warriors retain possession. And Žalgiris making a change here. Here's Green. Poked loose. And here we go. Number 15. It's rebounded by Jerebko.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
Gets it to go.
He wasn't able to get his name in the score sheet in the first half, but he looks like he's starting to find his comfort zone here.
Out of bounds, Žalgiris takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
And Žalgiris making a change here. Here's Van Gundy. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
Excellent communication on the inbound play there, guys. He got in a good position, and the pass was as it needed to be, on time and on target.
You know, it seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through. And that's not something they should get away from.
And it's Žalgiris with the ball. Following the basket by Stephen Curry. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
Van Gundy, guarded by Curry. Here's Van Gundy. And too long on the shot.
He's one guy the defense is not afraid to leave open from that range, and for obvious reasons.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul. It's against Žalgiris.
DeMarcus Cousins. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. And Žalgiris making a change here. Good on the second free throw. On offense, here's Žalgiris. Number 44 gets it to go. And so it's Golden State with it. The drive by Green. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
At the line for the Warriors, Draymond Green. Taking 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Green. And Žalgiris making a change here. And both free throws good for Green. On offense, here's Žalgiris. Van Gundy, guarded by Kerr. Here's Jackson. No good. Great D that time from Jerebko.
It's been a great day for them on the boards, Clark. That's definitely been a major factor in building this big lead.
And, you know, from a number standpoint, the advantage might not be that large, but they have been manhandling them inside.
And it's Žalgiris with the ball, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins. Pass to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Van Gundy, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And Žalgiris making a change here. Gone 1 of 6 shooting so far. Durant the pass to Cousins.
Excellent game we've seen from DeMarcus Cousins. He's got 10 rebounds, and his 2 blocks have given them a lift defensively.
Well, you have to protect the rim, Clark. You know that. And when you do that as well as he has today, it really bodes well for your team.
First one falls for him. And Žalgiris making a change here. And Cousins drops them both. 1:03 left to play here in the fourth. Number 12, guarded by Kerr. Shot clock at 6. They double him with Green. Ball's knocked loose, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. And Žalgiris making a change here. So it's the Warriors now. Shot from 16, and that's good for 2.
This is going to be a great game for them. No win on the road comes easy in the NBA. Nice performance.
Any player loves sending his own fans home happy. He loves even more sending opposing fans home miserable.
That's good.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
On offense, here's Žalgiris. And stolen by Cousins. Outside Curry. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. Here's Van Gundy. Misses the shot. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Now it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Steph Curry. it.